Here we are, guys, the Stanley Cup Finals. Welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager video. I am Sully, and today we have what we've been waiting for. A whole year has built up to this. A lot of work has gone in. Let's not waste any time and check to see who is St. Louis, because we have worked a whole year to get back to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we are here. And this team is no joke. Let's check. Their leading goal scorers, Tarasenko, Stastny, Steen is second with 26 goals. And you look at the point distribution for this team, and I gotta say, you have, I think his name, Nishkin, on that first line, left winger. That first line is deadly. The first line is deadly. Then you have Steen, Berglund, he's deadly. The top two lines are really fire offensively. I mean, and then you look, Shattenkirk and Pietrangelo lead that defense, but it's no joke. Don't get sucked into thinking that defense, all they have. Bouwmeester is a talented defender. You see his stats right there: 13 offense, 15 defense, 14 physical. And then you drop down Despuis, I think that's how you say his name. He's overall a great D-man. Then you take a look. Those top two lines are good all around. Offensively, they can do stuff. You see Pietrangelo, 15 offense, 15 defense, 16 physical, and 17 mental. Benelli, I think that's how you say his name. You look at him, again, 15 offense, 13 defense. Stellar, and then Zahn, I think that's how you say his name. He is... I guess he didn't play much during the regular season. They shouldn't have injuries. I don't know why. Maybe they made some moves. I don't know, but he's there. So they're great. They have Jack Allen in net. Let's check him out real quickly. For a goalie, he's 14. So we may have him beat with Mason. Mason has been playing really well. Interestingly enough, I would think they would go with Brian Elliott, but they're not. But again, offensively, they are deadly. They are deadly. And they have, I didn't even see this, but they have Milan Lucic at the third line. And so, forward-wise, I want to check, though. Let's see how this... So, offensively, he has 18 faceoffs. This is their third line center, Yori. Solid player. Let's look at his ratings. You can see... Defense, checking, he's great at. Hitting, he's good. Positioning, okay. Stick checking at 14, but offensively, very talented. And then skating, he has speed, he has acceleration. He has pretty much everything when it comes to speed and skating. So, I think, for one of the few times, I think we're matched forward-wise. Let's check this. I mean, 4-star player. Again, the MO offense. Look at that. I mean, that's a solid physically, offensively, a little bit of a liability defensively. But nonetheless, I mean, you look, it is solid. First three lines are fire. Followed up by really top six is very good outside of Zahn. He seems to be a little bit of a weak spot. And then goaltending, and it's a toss-up between Elliott and Allen. So I will say this is going to be a barn burner of a series. Let's check. The series was split 1-1. And you see, we don't have the, well, we should. It should be up there. I don't know why, but, well, actually, no, it shouldn't. We split the series 1-1. I don't know the scores of those games, but nevertheless, we split the series. Only played twice, but we did split, so this could be a preview. This could go 7 games. I don't honestly think this is going to be a 4-game, 5-game type series where we win casually. So this is it. The whole year has led up to this. Let's simulate ahead so we can actually pull up the game and get to game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Man, what a time to be alive. Here we are, game 1 of the Stanley Cup at Wells Fargo Center. You see the team rankings, and there it is. St. Louis whomped us 7-1. Then we came back at home and beat them 3-2. You see the goals overall for the season. We were the first, but they were fifth. They had just about the same amount of power play goals. Short-handed, they were tied for 28th with one goals against. They were first. We were seventh. I mean, the stats are pretty much even. PK, they're 14th. We're 23rd. Power play, we're only 3 spots ahead of them. So, without further delay, you see the goaltending situation pretty much. We have a little bit of a better save percentage, but I think we may have faced more shots. So, goaltending is pretty much down the middle. 17 games played, 30 points for Tarasenko. Over a point per game player. Just a tad bit over 2 points per game player. He's just under that. Whereas Claude Giroux is just under a point per game player. The man, goal scoring has been a little bit. We'd like to see more. You look at Tarasenko's numbers and watch out. So, game 1, the series has been set. We know ourselves. We now know what St. Louis is about. Game 1. A full year of work has gone to this point. Let's get the first period underway in front of the home fans in under a minute. Berglund puts his team up. 1-0 Berglund. Doing us dirty. But we respond. Marcus Johansson on the Tarasenko penalty. We score to tie it right back. Big goal for the Philadelphia Flyers. Here we are. So, it's 1-1. But we even things out. What is this? Are you serious? This is actually from center ice? How did this go in? This is legit from center ice. Is there like... Oh man, I wish we could get the play-by-play for this. This is legit center ice. Wow, I have to Gazzo this. Hold on. I'm doing this in-game, like I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking right now. How does a goal go in from center ice? Unreal. So anyways, wow, what a period. I didn't even realize that. So let's go on to the second period. Here we go. We can't score on the power play. All right. We've only had one penalty. Simmons takes another one. We kill it. And then we score on the power play. Marcus Johansson scores his second of the game from Savard and Giroux. But then Mason couldn't keep it out. And Shattenkirk scores. So we're tied 2-2. We are 2 of 3 on the power play. We've been making the power play work. We've been using it to our advantage. Here we are. Third and final period of game 1 of the Stanley Cup. And Allen is beat 5-hole by again the call-up on the fourth line. What a time. What a call-up. The organization making the right move. And then short-handed Shen tacks on goal, then Lawton. Is that 2 short-handed goals? In a matter of sheer seconds, we win 5-2. In a matter of sheer seconds, we tally 2 short-handed goals, it looks like, in a Stanley Cup. What a weird turn of events. Let's check this out. I have to see. Yes, 2 short-handed goals in a matter of just under 20 seconds in a Stanley Cup game. I can't believe it. So that was pretty much the deciding factor that pushed us ahead. Wow, I have to Gazzo that as well. So we are now 1-0, and it's a weird game. I want to say it's a little bit of an anomaly because we played well, but we scored on our chances. You know, we were 2 of 3, and then St. Louis gave up 2 shorthanded goals. That is a little bit, yeah. I don't know how to put that into words for game 1. A weird game nonetheless in the Stanley Cup Finals. A goal from center ice, 2 shorthanded goals on the same penalty. I mean, you don't see things like this every game, nevertheless, in a Stanley Cup game. So here we are, game 2, big game. I mean, every game's big in the Stanley Cup, but when you're up 1-0, you have a chance to really create some space, go up 2-0, I should say. But let's see how this game evens out compared to the last one. What happens? Because there are some fluke plays that happened in game one that may not happen in this game, where it could really then be up for grabs between either team. So enough jibber jabber. Let's get underway in the first period of game two of the Stanley Cup Finals, and we score. Simmons scores face off. Dot puts us up 1-0. And you gotta like that, scoring first, home ice. It always helps when you score first, so you're not playing down. So we kill the penalty. Shots are pretty much even. No stat really telling the whole story. It's split down the middle. We said this was going to be a tough series, and so far it really is. We're deadlocked. But then Voracek scores just in the waning moments of the second period to put us up 2-0, and Stastny still has a minute left. So if we can come out and score, it could be a dagger. We don't, but still we have a 2-goal lead, and then a 3-goal lead. Voracek puts us up 3-0. He's going for the Hattie, but then suddenly the third line forward, Yori, brings it within 2, 5-on-3. I think we almost killed it. Smith closes the gap within a goal, but it's not enough. And I think so. We were one of 4. Actually, it wasn't that 5-on-3. We didn't give up a goal. It was even strength because St. Louis went 0 for 5 on the power play. So the penalty kill coming up big for us, and the penalty kill really towards the end of the regular season. I showed some games where we weren't giving up many penalties. We really were a disciplined team, and then the PK showed up huge for us. So we take a 2-series lead. 3-2 was the score of that game. I mean, I don't want to say too much. Today now, actually, we face on the road. We're going to Scott Trade Center, and it's just we can't assume anything, because we can't. I still say that's game 2 is very close. Game 1 was a fluke. That's not going to happen. Those type of goals will not go in every game. And so I still think game 2 is a toss-up. So it's not like we've been dominating St. Louis to be like, this series we have it in the bag. I still think St. Louis can come back. They have it. They have the offense capability to come back and tie this series up. So that's why I'm not trying to sound too confident. I really am not. I think St. Louis, if they just get rolling offensively, they can explode and they can change this series in the Bav and I. You see 0-0, we're deadlocked. And look at the stats again. It's really even. There's nothing really standing out for either side that says, yes, we deserve this win in these series. So no penalties really either by either team the whole game so far. And it's been even strength. You look at the shot chart. I mean, we're doing a better job of keeping them to that left side. You see, like right down the hash marks, they really don't have anything on this right side. We're even throughout right now. Our shots, we're even throughout. But and we scored the first minute in. I was gonna say you like where St. Louis is shooting right in front of the net, and they tie. Pietrangelo puts them on the board as well. So goals by Simmons, I believe. Did Simmons net one for us? I think he did. So we're going to overtime. Let's check. Was Simmons the goal scorer on that? Where's the goal? Yeah, Simmons was. So he's in the penalty box. 147. St. Louis has some time to work with in this overtime. But you see, when special teams came into play, we're 1 for 1 the power play. St. Louis is 1 for 2, and now they have a power play. So let's see. Can we kill it off in overtime when it matters the most? We do. So we managed to escape that. Man, look at the shots piling up, even for both teams. And St. Louis puts it in. The third line winger does it for St. Louis. And what did I say, guys? Did I not call it? I said this series could go either way. St. Louis responds in a much needed win. Yori, who has been big in the Stanley Cup for St. Louis, closes the series lead of Philadelphia to 1 game, and now we play game 4 at St. Louis, where they could tie it up. And I said, we just need this. If we continue to win at home, which we've been doing the whole playoffs, we just have to steal one on the road, and this is the one to steal on the road. Game 4. Let's see what happens. How does it unfold again? Ever since that game 1, both teams have been deadlocked, and you see Lawton putting us on the board first within the first 5 minutes of the game, and we get another one. So here we are, 2-goal lead going into the second period. I like that. I think we're creating a little bit of space. I think this has been our first 2-goal lead since game 1. I could be wrong. And now we take a 3rd goal, Lear. I think that's how you say his name. Lear? Lair puts us up 3-0. He's going for his hat trick. His 2nd of the game. Couturier, who's been relatively quiet on the goal scoring, puts us up. And then, wow, everything's pouring in. Another one. Seth Jones gets his first. Then Simmons, almost a mere seconds later, puts us up a mere almost 20 seconds. I think it's like 23. Puts us up, and now we're up 7-0 in a matter of just that second period. I would dare say we have this game in the bag, and things may get, you see the penalties starting to pile up. It's getting physical. St. Louis, I said we had to steal one, and man, what an explosion. 3 goals in the first, followed by 4 in the second. I think that's how the scoring breaks down. No, actually 2 and then 5. And look at this, all in a matter of just a couple minutes, and we reel off 4 goals in the second. Well, and this has to be a deflating loss for St. Louis. I think we have this in the bag. I don't see St. Louis now after that coming back. I don't see it happening. I could be wrong, but I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Waiting for everything to settle up. Let's check. Waiting for the simulation. It is the 1st of the month, the 1st of June. The chance to lock up the Stanley Cup today at Wells Fargo Center. They have the towels. They're rocking the orange against St. Louis, and this is it. The crowd has never been louder. The gates are open. People are funneling in, chanting, "Let's go Flyers." Everything has led to this. Last season, they did not win the Stanley Cup. They made it all the way, making some trades at the deadline, bulking up the defense. They fail. They come back. They retool. They add Marcus Johansson. They pick up Savard and Jenner. They have marched all the way back to the Stanley Cup Finals, and now they are 1 game away from winning the Stanley Cup. Here are the lineup. Nothing is changing for the lineups. In front of a sold-out crowd, they're watching in the streets. Can Philadelphia win the Stanley Cup in front of their home fan base? Here we are. Game 5 is underway, going for the 4-1, and Voracek pumps his fist in the air. He gets the first goal of the game, and the Flyers take a 1-goal, now a 2-goal, his 2nd Voracek, 1 goal away from the hat trick in a clinching Stanley Cup game, putting the team on his back. Kulikov and Giroux with the assist. The second period have to keep their foot on the gas. The shots have been low compared to series or games in the series past. Waiting. Del Zotto puts Philadelphia up 3-0. I said last game, did I not say that was a backbreaking loss? 20 minutes away. St. Louis, look at the power plays. We have given up only 1 penalty this whole game. The season story, the second half season, we were disciplined. And then when we did give up penalties, the PK came through just like all playoff long. And in this game, it sums up the Philadelphia Flyers, now 20 mere minutes away from raising the Stanley Cup. Here we are. Let's simulate. St. Louis really not getting much. They registered 2 shots, another 2. 10 minutes left. St. Louis has to be pouring on, getting desperate. They're not going to do it. Your Philadelphia Flyers are the Stanley Cup champions and President's Trophy, really having their way through the playoffs. And man, now we go home raising the Stanley Cup in front of the home fans in the streets. They're cheering. The standings show it all. The playoff tree. 4-1 against New York, sweeping Pittsburgh. 4-1 against Montreal. 4-1 against St. Louis to win the Stanley Cup. Let's simulate and let's see what happens. The owners have to be happy. The fans, the parade, they're already planning it. Here we are. And I don't win GM of the year. Interesting. Wow. Well, let's see. Let's see the awards. I can't believe this, that we didn't. The Pittsburgh Crosby's the MVP. All right, you know what? I'm not gonna let that deter us from the news we got that we are the Stanley Cup champions. Let's check. We should have. Let's check the standings. Playoffs 4-1. We won. Where's our history? Let's check. Did we get the champion nod? Let's look at history. Bam, there it is, the champion. We respond. We made the playoffs last season, but we responded better, and we win the 3rd Stanley Cup in the team's history, I do believe. Yes, since 75, we managed to win the Stanley Cup. What a season for the the Philadelphia Flyers. And I must say, let's just take a look real quickly at who was our playoff. Let's just look at this team and the stats. The point leader was Giroux. Voracek, though, puts the team on his back, scores 2 goals to give us the lead. He was the point leader. The goal leaders, he wasn't a point leader or a goal leader, Voracek, but he was a point leader, but man, did he make it count. Kulikov was a regular season assist leader. Ramo had a better save percentage, but we all know when Steve Mason carried the team again, he was the workhorse for this team. Let's check the playoffs. Who was the point leader for the playoffs? It was... Nope, this is regular season. Where's playoffs? Oh, we played 19 games. What? Hold on. Playoffs. I don't know why it does that, but I wish it would stop. Playoffs. Okay. So we can't really figure out the point. Oh, it goes from the bottom up. Okay. Voracek led the team in goals, and he was 3rd for assists. He led the team in points with 21. So Voracek, when it mattered most, he stepped up in the Stanley Cup final. You see, he scored 2 goals. And who scored the 3rd goal? And Mason got the shutout. I completely neglected that. But Mason got the shutout. Del Zotto got the 3rd and final goal. And the Philadelphia Flyers are your Stanley Cup champions. I would assume, I thought there would have been a little bit an email or something. I mean, for crying out loud, we won. Like, where is the message from the owners? You know, we won. So I'm trying to find right now I'm trying to find the awards for the NHL this season to show you guys what we have. Awards, there we go. So, goal scorers, we can look at Jeff Skinner won the goal scorer, Rocket Richard. Points was Sidney Crosby. Defensive forward of the year was Zabinajad. Miscellaneous awards. Austin Matthews was Rookie of the Year. I cannot believe that I did not win GM of the Year. I think that's a joke. And Brian Elliott won the save percentage and goals against. And again, we did it, or Brian Elliott, yeah, won save percentage and goals against. But nonetheless, what a year for us. I mean, I know it was a little anticlimactic at the end. Maybe, I mean, there's no email. There's got to be an email or a message saying, hey, Philadelphia's a Stanley Cup champions. But maybe not. Maybe not. But nonetheless, we're going to leave it here, guys. A great season for us. Couldn't have pictured a better conclusion. We said from the onset that this was our goal, to get back to the Stanley Cup. And you know what? We did. And we won it. And we won it convincingly. And it wasn't a fluke. And we made that known throughout the NHL. Now, let's start a dynasty. 2 out of 2 trips to Stanley Cup. 1 with it. Let's go for 3 for 3 and 2 of 3 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Let me know. We'll do an off-season video. We'll break down the stats for all that stuff. I don't want to take up too much of your time. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. And if you enjoy this series, please let me know down below. It's always fun to read your guys' comments. Thank you. I am Sully. Have a great day, and I will see you later.